Have you ever stood still for a moment, maybe in the quiet of your kitchen or the dim glow of dusk, and felt a pang, like your life slipped through your fingers? Like every heartbeat, every breath, revolves not around your own soul song, but the ceaseless pull of your children's wants and needs? As the years pile up, gray hairs, creaky knees, a lifetime of lessons, it's only human to want to stay close, to be their rock when the world feels unsteady. There's a beauty in that, a tender thread tying you to them. But oh, how easily that thread can tighten into a rope, binding you, pulling you into a role you never meant to play, a servant in the twilight of your days. The truth stings, doesn't it? So many of us tumble into this gentle trap, eyes wide open yet blind to the cost. We pour out our time like water, our energy like a fading flame, our savings like crumbs scattered for others to gather, until we're left wondering where we went. Maybe you felt it too, that slow unraveling of your freedom, the guilt that claws at you when you dare to whisper no, the heaviness of expectations you carried like a badge of honor, only to realize it's become a yoke. But here's the shimmering, unshakable hope: it doesn't have to end there. You can still be the parent whose love runs deep as a river, whose presence is a gift, without surrendering the sacred ground of your own life. In this video, we're unfurling 6 powerful, soul-stirring ways to reclaim your freedom as the years stretch out before you. Tools to cradle your dignity, rekindle your joy, and hold fast to the person you've always been. These aren't just tips, they're lifelines, woven from the threads of real lives, real struggles, real triumphs. From carving out space with love and courage to shielding your peace like a treasure, these steps will rewrite your story, not as a footnote to someone else's, but as a bold, beautiful chapter all your own. Stay with us to the end, because what we're about to share could crack open a door to a life you thought was lost. Let's dive in. Number 1. Draw the line with love. We grow up thinking a parent's job never ends, diapers to diplomas, we're there, hands outstretched. But what happens when those hands keep reaching, long after they've flown the nest? If your days are a blur of their calls, can you watch the kids? Can you pick up groceries? If you're rearranging your dreams to fit their schedules, if guilt gnaws at you when you pause to breathe, it's time to draw a line. Not a cold, jagged edge, but a soft, firm boundary that whispers, "I'm still here, but I'm also me." This isn't about less love, it's about more balance, a dance where both sides step in rhythm. Picture Susan, 68, from Boise, Idaho, a widow with a laugh like wind chimes and eyes that crinkle with stories. She adored her grandkids, those wild-haired tornadoes who'd tumble into her arms. For years, she crossed town 5 days a week to babysit, her car humming with lullabies. It felt like a privilege, those sticky kisses, the trust in her daughter's tired smile. But one spring, she caught her reflection in a window. Weary, hollowed out, a woman who'd traded her paintbrushes for sippy cups. Over a steaming mug one rainy Tuesday, she told her daughter, "I love them beyond words, but I'm losing me. I need some days back." Tears fell, voices rose, but then, understanding. Her daughter hired a sitter twice a week, and Susan dusted off her easel. Colors bloomed again on her canvas, and with them, her spirit. Her grandkids still run to her, but now she greets them as a fuller version of herself. The benefit? You're not just saving time, you're saving your soul. Boundaries teach your kids that love respects limits, that your worth isn't measured by how much you give up. They learn to stand taller, and you get to breathe deeper. It's a gift to everyone. Number 2. Guard your nest egg like your life depends on it. There's a warmth in helping your kids, a primal urge to cushion their falls. But when that warmth drains your bank account, dipping into savings for their rent, co-signing loans for their dreams, handing over cash because their eyes plead, you're not just giving money, you're giving away your future. Retirement isn't a dress rehearsal. It's the encore you've earned, a season to sit back, sip coffee on a porch, travel to that town you've always dreamed of. Don't let guilt rewrite that ending. Meet James, 71, from Raleigh, North Carolina, a man with a voice like gravel and hands worn from decades as a mechanic. His son was his pride, but pride turned to panic as James bailed him out again and again. $500 for a busted transmission, $2,000 for a failed startup. Each promise of, "I'll pay you back," Dad, echoed empty. One winter night, James sat with his ledger, the numbers glaring like a lighthouse in fog. His nest egg was shrinking, his peace unraveling. When his son called next, voice cracking over a maxed credit card, James steadied himself and said, "I can't, son. Not this time. You're tougher than this." The silence hurt worse than a shout, But weeks later, his son found a night shift, paid his own way. James kept his savings, his dignity, and gained a son who stood prouder. Why does this matter? Financial independence isn't just security, it's freedom. Freedom to age with grace, to gift your kids the peace of knowing you're okay. You're not a bank, you're a beacon. Protect that light. If this stirs you, type number 2 in the comments. I'd love to know you're here. New here. Subscribe, hit the bell. Let's keep this fire burning together. Number 3. Keep your flame alive. It creeps in slow, a cancelled lunch with friends, a guitar gathering dust, a dream deferred because they might need me. Before you know it, your world's a tight circle around your kids, and the person you were, the one who loved jazz or baking or staring at the stars, fades like an old photograph. But that spark, it's still there, flickering, begging for air. You're more than a parent, you're a soul with stories yet to tell. Clara, 75, from Santa Fe, New Mexico, knows this ache. She'd spent her life framing the world through a lens, sandstone cliffs at golden hour, her grandkids' gap-toothed grins. When her son's family settled nearby, she swapped her camera for car seats, her darkroom for diaper runs. It felt right, until it didn't. One autumn day, she found her Nikon under a pile of laundry, its weight a quiet accusation. A friend tugged her to a photography class, and as the shutter snapped, tears welled up, not from sadness, but from remembering. She started showing her work at a local cafe, met a circle of artists who saw her as Clara, not just Nana. Her son grumbled at first, but soon he saw her glow, and loved her more for it. The reward is immense. You reclaim your identity, your vitality. A life lit by passion doesn't just lift you, it inspires your kids to chase their own. You're not selfish for this, you're showing them how to live fully. Number 4. Raise them to fly, not to lean. We dream of giving our kids everything, every chance, every comfort. But what if everything means shielding them from the very lessons that build them? If you're always the fix, money for rent, advice for every hiccup, a net for every fall, you might be clipping their wings instead of lifting them. Love isn't a crutch, it's a launch pad. Ask yourself, am I helping them grow, or keeping them small? Tom, 69, from Portland, Oregon, wrestled with this. His daughter, 36, leaned on him like a lifeline. $200 here, a pep talk there, a shoulder for every storm. He felt heroic, until he didn't. One rainy evening, she called, desperate for cash after a shopping spree went sour. Tom's heart sank. He saw the pattern, the exhaustion in his own voice. "Not this time, honey," he said, voice trembling but firm. "You've got this." She hung up, furious. Weeks of silence followed, but then, a text. "Got a job. Paying my bills. Thanks, Dad." She'd stumbled, yes, but she'd soared. Tom's tears that night weren't from loss, but pride. The beauty here, you're not just freeing yourself, you're gifting them resilience, the kind that lasts a lifetime. They'll thank you, maybe not today, but someday, when they stand tall because you let them try. Comment number 4, if this lands with you, I'd love to connect. Not subscribed? Join us, hit that bell. Number 5, root your joy in you. It's a subtle ache, isn't it? Waiting for their call, measuring your day by their visits, letting your heart rise or fall with their attention. We tie our happiness to our kids like kite strings, but when the wind shifts, busyness, distance, life, they drift, and we're left dangling. Your joy can't live in their hands, it's too fragile there. It's yours to plant, to grow, to hold. Margaret, 72, from Savannah, Georgia, felt this hollow too long. She'd sit by her porch swing, phone silent, waiting for her son to fill the quiet. When he moved for a job, the emptiness roared. One humid afternoon, she snapped, grabbed a quilt square, joined a sewing group, started walking the moss-draped riverfront with women who laughed like she used to. Her son surprised her one Sunday, found her mid-stitch, her face alight with a happiness he hadn't seen since he was small. "Mom, you're different," he said, awed. She was, because she'd stopped waiting and started living. This shift heals. You're not just happier, you're whole. Your kids feel it too. No guilt, just love. You bloom, and they get to cheer you on. Number 6. Say no to save your soul. No feels like a foreign word, heavy on the tongue. We say yes instead, to babysitting at dawn, to loans we can't spare, to plans that drain us, because yes feels like love. But every yes you don't mean chips at your spirit, until you're a shell, smiling through the fatigue. You're not infinite. Your peace is a garden worth guarding. Henry, 77, from Boulder, Colorado, learned this late. He was the family's rock, hauling boxes, grilling for impromptu picnics, always nodding yes. But one July, bone-tired and unseen, he broke. His daughter asked him to repaint her shed. He paused, then said, "I can't, not now." Shock rippled, then respect. He took his fishing rod to the lake, let the water wash away the weight. His kids adjusted, valued his yes more because they weren't automatic. Henry found stillness, and his soul sang again. Saying no isn't loss, it's liberation. You gain time, energy, a life that's yours. Your family learns your worth, and love grows truer in the space you claim. Type number 6 if this moves you. I'm here with you. Subscribe if it's your first time. Let's keep this alive. Pause here wherever you are and feel this. You're not a footnote, not a servant, not a shadow. You've given oceans, sleepless nights rocking fevered babies, savings scraped for their first car, prayers whispered for their every step. That was your gift then. This is yours now. This season isn't about fading, it's about flourishing. Love your kids with all you've got, but don't let that love erase you. Help when your heart says yes, but hold your ground when it whispers no. You're a tapestry of dreams, scars, and strength. Don't let it unravel. Which of these 6 calls to you loudest? A boundary to draw, a passion to chase, a joy to root? Comment below. What hit you? What will you do? Your story fuels us. If this stirred your heart, like it, share it, subscribe. Let's carry this light forward. Thank you for being here. We'll see you soon.